Hey, what's up, universe? It is 12:38 a.m. on Wednesday, May 24th, 2023. I was holding my eyes like that because it's like I always debate, is it actually, because I haven't gone to bed yet, so I always use that as my demarcation of if it's a new day for me. Although, technically speaking, it's obviously a new day. So, for posterity and technical purposes, I like to keep it accurate. So anyway, totally beside the point. I actually took some notes throughout the day, and I was like, oh yeah, these are things I wanted to mention. And at the same time, I don't want to be like super clinical about it either, so I won't be. It's going to be a stream of consciousness, kind of an update. So one of the things that I experienced today that I truly am grateful for and was also surprised by, was that being a Zendesk user group leader, I have access to a Slack channel with other, user group leaders and things like this. And one of the guys was like, hey, how was your weekend? And this was, if you're seeing this, it's Wednesday, but they posted this on Monday, right? And so I wrote, and I was like, I did this on Monday. I was like, I always wonder how authentic people want people to be when they ask that, like how real they want people to be. Like, do you really care, like how my weekend was? And so, I was more finessed than this, but it always raises the question in me, like, it's like what do we want to say? It's like a social formality, right? Typically. So I just went ahead and was vulnerable in my share, and just kind of gave broad stroke highlights. But it was obvious that it wasn't like rainbows and unicorns. And I expressed my, be the change you want to see in the world. And so I'm like, I just feel like I'd like to see more of that. So here I am, being that way. And it was really cool, like yesterday and today, but more so today, experiencing like the response to that. And there's women in this group too, yet none of them responded to it. It was interesting to me, the men's responses. One of them was like, yeah, actually, I would like to see more of this too. And like appreciated me being, expressed their appreciation for my vulnerability. And just the energy that I was feeling from some of the other men that responded as well. And it was just like, it was cool, man. So I appreciated that. That was a neat experience. So just publicly stating my gratitude for that. And so thank you, universe. Again, like totally different subject here. Spoke with a coworker person that I used to work with at the gig that I left a couple of weeks ago, and found out that they have also recently left. And I found that to be an interesting piece of information. It really makes me curious about how things are. And yet, at the same time, I'm like, it doesn't really pertain to me. It's just more of a kind of a curiosity. So it's like, all right, that happened. I did receive one denial letter from one of the applications that I submitted today, and just to mark on like how that impacted me, I honestly didn't, like, there wasn't a pang of anything. There wasn't like oh man, like it was like, all right, cool. It was very easy for me to connect with that idea of like, what is it like? If it's obviously keeping me from something that I'm not meant to experience, right? Like I'm being directed towards the things that I am meant to experience. So it was like, all right, cool, like no problem. One of the things that I found, again, another thing that I found interesting with the contract opportunity, from earlier, is that I'm very grateful that, you know, it's a nice little bump, you know, from my previous hourly rate. So that's also a great piece of news, and I just wanted to acknowledge that and express my gratitude for that. The other interesting thing that I realized after I started noodling on the figures was like, oh man, like that hourly rate actually, you know, times like a normal like 2,000 hour work year turns out to be the exact same amount that I've been putting down for my annual salary for the jobs or for the roles that I just have recently applied for. Like straight up exactly. And I was like, what? Like that's crazy. That's awesome. Like that's awesome. Synchronicities, right? Like that's pretty cool. Let's see. One thing just to mention as well around finances. At the moment, in this moment, I don't, my bank account is showing like $300, right? And my youngest son, today's the last day of school, and he's like, you know, it sounds good. I'm like, what? He's like, food. And he usually likes to eat at one of like two places, right? And I was like, well, I'm not super keen on like, I'm kind of watching my stuff right now. I was like, because I have to get gas. I still have to go to the store. I have you guys this weekend, you know, this kind of a thing. And I said all of that to him, right? Just like that. And as we're driving though, I'm thinking back to, you know, even the story that I related in a handful of videos ago now about how when I went to Reno and I was like $35 or something like that. I was like, well, do I eat or, you know, do I get gas? And it all goes back to what am I looking to experience, you know, and connecting with that feeling. That's what it's all about for me. It's like the only thing I care about. Like I seriously just get with that because like it's the feeling. It's all about the feeling. And I was like, also considering at the same time, I'm like, okay, look, what is it that I would like, what is it that I would like Milo to connect to? Milo's my youngest son. What is it that I would like him to connect with? What's the model? What is it that I would like to model for him? And so even though I said it, ultimately we ended up going to, you know, it's where he wanted to go eat, and got him some food, and just trusting that it's fine, you know, like there's not lack, like, you know what I mean, like there's no such thing, like I'm not losing anything, I wasn't allowing scarcity to enter my mind, I wasn't letting that sensation or that anxiety or that fear, like none of that, like I literally just didn't. And is this before or after I'm trying to recall if this is before or after I had the phone call. And I'm thinking, yeah, it had to be before. It was totally before. It was before the phone call, before I had the opportunity. So yeah, that's exactly what happened. And so then then the opportunity came through, and I'm like, man, you see, like, you know, although granted, like I haven't been paid yet, whatever, but it's like, you understand, like these things are in motion, like, so it's just an interesting unfolding thing. And then one last thing, when I signed the paperwork, you know, they sent me the paperwork for the gig, and when I signed it, I submitted it at 5:55 Pacific time, so 7:55 my time, but it was 5:55 their time because they're in California. So I was like, well, that's pretty cool. And on Instagram, man, today I like the first post that I saw or whatever was like 5:55, and I was like, all right, cool. But that was like way earlier than today. So interesting stuff for whatever that's worth. Yeah, looking at my notes, that's pretty much what I got. But yeah, it's been a good day. It's been a great day. and my oldest son's got a friend spending the night, and just kind of seeing my youngest son, my oldest son, and their friends and the dynamic, and just kind of seeing my Milo come out a little bit more into his own. It's cool to watch your kids grow up, you know? So I'm grateful for that too. Yeah. Thank you, universe. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for sharing this with me. Thanks for your time and your attention and your love and your grace, the space. Thank you very much. All right, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.